it's in progress now. It's not started. So yeah, hello everybody. This month we're going to actually just get a little bit of insight from me for some reason. I think that was your idea, Donna. Thank you. But I just really want to talk to you this morning in some of the things that I've put into place. And I am 100%, as those that know me well will know, I am a work in progress, but it is all about becoming the best you. And that can be really quite scary for some people because they've got no idea what the best them is or who they are for some people. But I'm just going to share some insights. I actually did this topic at one of the SWIB events in the room back in Bournemouth quite a while ago. And when we could go in the room with people and talk about how we can become our best selves. But I really hope that everybody here might even just get a couple of tips that have served me really well. So you can flourish in everything you do. It is a work in progress, and that's absolutely fine. But these are all, like I say, they're things I've put into place over the last 15 to 20 years. I have got a few slides I'm going to share, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my story, because some of you actually probably don't know some of my story, because I'm not, the person I am today is not the person, as you can imagine, who I used to be. And you're going to hear why. But it's very interesting when Tracy was then talking about, you know, things getting handed down. We have to break out of that ourselves. So these are all things I've put into place, and they've served me, and they will continue to serve me for the rest of my life, to grow and be totally open-minded, to embrace change, to seek to be a continual student for my own life, right? It's so important. It's non-negotiable for me now. And to jump into, I'm happy to call it personal development. People call it all different things, but I'm really happy to jump into personal development and pass that on to others. But this is what's interesting, that I was definitely not always like this. So who I am and what has happened that's brought me to this place, because I was an intensely shy little girl. And guess what? My mum called me shy. Thank you, Tracy. Right. So and they were labels that were given to me. So the more I got told it, probably the shyer I became, right? But fast forward, I actually started my adult life as also, and I'm going to use the word, it's not me now, as you know, but I started my life, I would say then, as probably a rather shy art student. I was very good at illustrating. I had absolutely no belief in my talents. And even though I graduated with a first in graphic design, okay, with honours, I couldn't see much beyond my own self-doubt on whether anyone would want to buy my illustrations, my greetings cards, or the book illustrations that my head was absolutely full of. So on a whim, my boyfriend and I, who is now my husband and I, we moved to Chicago for a couple of years in my early 20s, which was absolutely terrifying to me because I'd always lived in safe little Surrey and Guildford all of my life, right? On the promise of some illustration work through a friend of a friend, and a free apartment if I looked after their kids. Okay, so I did that for a year and a half, and I was terrified, and I didn't really get any illustration work out of it anyway, probably because I didn't go for it. But I also then had a visitor who had come to my degree show in the previous year, contacted me a few months after I returned, and offered me a job as a designer in her stationery company in London. And I spent the next 4 years traveling to China in the late 1980s. I was also terrified of that, right? Everything was terrifying to me. And I was watching my designs being very badly wrapped around pencils and notebooks, because it wasn't what it is now for China in the 80s, and being shipped into sort of W.H. Smith's warehouses and places like that. But when I look back now, I literally feel like, and it's okay, some of us might be brand new entrepreneurs. I know none of you are, but if you meet those people, when I look back, I actually feel like I was sleepwalking into everything. I didn't feel in control of me or who I was. I knew nothing about personal development, as Paula says, in terms of self-reflection, thinking our thoughts, as Tracy was saying. And I was totally unaware of true purpose, inner vision, goals, a long-term view, or anything. So I sleptwalked into marketing 20 years ago. And I was working as a marketing consultant in a London marketing agency. I've got no idea how, literally none. It was fun, it was demanding, it was fast moving, it was full on, it was 12 hours a day. And I was bringing new brands to market. I was serving clients, running all sorts of teams and things. No idea how I did that. And I had very little time to do with any sort of reflection or self-empowerment at all, right? It was just a job that I just kind of did. I was also a mum at that point to my 2 lovely children, but I do feel really fortunate. So I would always say, you know, when we move out of traditional, if you worked in corporate, any of you have, like I have, you know, you will always learn lessons from that. So I always think positively about all the stages of your life, whether they were really hard, really trying. You know, all of you have, and all of us can take amazing learnings from those things, even though we couldn't see them at the time. Yeah. So I felt really fortunate throughout my traditional career, actually, to have been really surrounded by empowered women and men who really did believe in teamwork, collaboration, and actually opening doors for new opportunities. Because I worked for an American marketing agency, and they are all about personal development, right? And I actually worked, and they actually spent money on for their employees to do personal development training courses and stuff, which was amazing. So somewhere in the 1990s, I was sent on the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, all paid for by my company. You probably know the book by Stephen Covey. And what's so hilarious is I never really engaged with it at the time. I literally had the employee mindset, and I just thought, this is just a jolly out of work. Yay, bring it on. Don't know if any of you have ever done that. But the problem was, I still didn't believe in myself. I literally doubted if I was up for any top positions. Yeah, I just doubted all of these things. You know, why me? Why would I want to do it? But luckily, you know, put out the right stuff and the right stuff will come back. In 2008, so this is quite a while ago now, everything was about to change for me. And by then, so don't wait for as long as I did, I was already in my early 40s by then, right? But what was interesting is some things happened that literally have changed the course of my life. And we can all look back at those and think, those were the little key turns that made me awaken, or look at how I could become a better version of me. Or we don't even have to call it that, but to me, it's about becoming my best self. So a friend at work gave me a little book called The Secret, which some of you may have read, by Rhonda Byrne. And it's the first book I'd ever read which awakened my own inner power to ask what I want and to believe I could do and have whatever I wanted just by kind of switching my vibrational flow of how I ask for things. The biggest recession of a generation landed on our laps in 2008, and there were rumors of redundancy at work. So then I had to start thinking differently. And thirdly, and most importantly, one of my best friends who I'd gone to uni with contacted me out of the blue and said she'd started working on an exciting new project with a very well-known, as you all know now, the brand I work with, Arbonne, but on a very well-known luxury health and wellness brand. It just launched in the UK, and would I like to be her business partner? And she thought it would be a brilliant way for both of us at some point to maybe move out of corporate, so we could do something from home and run it around our other lives and along our careers, and create that kind of time leverage and, you know, have additional monies from it. Who doesn't want that? And obviously for me, it was to exit the 9 to 5 and be flexible on our own terms of what we could do. So that was really the first day at the start of my road to becoming the best me. So that was basically going for it, seeking out success, finding mentors. You know, this is so valuable. Find mentors. Work with entrepreneurs, not employees, and trusting myself that I was good enough, right? I am good enough, because I saw other people and I thought, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And I'll obviously have that sort of, you know, if you can, I know lots of you now have created amazing online courses. That is the way to future flexibility, isn't it? When you can teach, you know, one to many, right? Because then you've got those unlimited income potential earnings. And honestly, it's been the smartest move I've ever made. I was absolutely petrified, literally, right? But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So I was really scared. So some of you know, that brand has been Arbonne, and, you know, it's obviously been the best move I've ever made in my career, because it's given me flexibility to do coaching and training as well with people. And many of those And when you find something that aligns with your ethics, I think this is really important. Find something that makes you passionate, you know, like Werner's doing, like Tracy's doing, like all of you are doing, something that you've already got innately inside you. So many of those things of that brand that I'm aligned with mirror my own values of being ethical, being sustainable, being empowering, being transparent. And, you know, that was a plan B. So maybe your businesses, for some of you, might be really small at the moment, and you doubt, you know, whether you can make them a plan A, but just work on them every day and they can become a plan A. And it's always good to have a plan B before you need one, because 18 months after I started out as a very intrepid entrepreneur, I left my job and I focused on the wonderful business I was building on the side. And 6 months later, every single person in my department got made redundant. So I'm just so grateful I had something else. But, you know, so think of that when we're talking to entrepreneurs or people that are just doubting themselves, or should I do it or shouldn't do it, give them that wind between their wings, because you've all been there as well. So I would just say, you know, because of that, because I said yes, I've now got a network all over the world. I've spoken to audiences actually of hundreds of people about sustainability, freedom, choices, and becoming the best version of you, and the art of winning, you know. And that is a very long way from the shy little art student and a box of unpublished greeting cards that I had. And I've realized that most people, not everybody on here is a Brit, right? Or naturally, you know, I'm saying this because I can't say that for some of your other groups, but I realize that most people, especially Brits, naturally find it hard to blow our own trumpets, right? You know, we do, it's just innately in us, right? And I love the fact there's at least 2 South Africans on here, because you so aren't like that. I love the way you look at life. So, but I just ask yourself for what you truly want, because most people play it far too small. And I'm included in that. So even though you have all these incredible talents and endless inner voice, it always tries to derail us, right, on a daily basis, doesn't it? And that's okay. But there is good news and bad news. And the bad news is most people, the average person, never taps into their true power of inner growth and resilience. You know, they just accept it the way it is. They just accept, this is my lot. And even if they're already running a small business, they still play too small and too local. So the good news is, if you want to change that thinking in a moment, if you decide and like literally awaken yourself to embark on a path of personal growth and resilience, as you do on your business growth. So I just imagine it's an invisible glittering backpack on my back, and it's all full of every tool I need when I need it most, that I can just pull out of my bag and I can apply it. And it's literally got your back, you know, every single where you want to go. So I'm just going to share my screen, and I'm just going to share with you just some other little thoughts. You might want to, these might be some other little top tips that might help you to put some certain things into place for you, which might just help you, you know, just to decide, right, okay, how could these things help me? And we've just kind of vaguely just mentioned that bit to you. Of all the things that can affect your future, is in the most powerful way, I still believe that personal growth is the most important. And I do believe that all the most successful, happy people on the planet tap into it, right? You can find a mentor anyway. You can have Barack Obama by your side if you want to. You can have whoever you want because of what you can find on social media. So in other words, the major key to a better future, you've probably realized from what I've just said, is you. And it is scary and it can be terrifying. And there are sort of things, of course, that are going to professionally and personally help you align with yourself to, you know, find a mentor or find a strong company like I have, like a franchise brand that's really helped me. So it allows you to flourish and set your values in your industry. You'll all have industry best practice, whatever industry, and of course you do. And that proves, you know, that provides you excellent products or services that really help you to grow your brand and you. So obviously great training programs help. Do you have those things? So, you know, so as long as you don't get struck by lightning, If your car doesn't break down every time you leave the house, if the neighbors don't cause you problems and you don't get ill, all of the things I just mentioned can, of course, help or hinder your future, but they only play a minor role in your best future, because the major key to a better future is not outside of yourself. It's not the things you can't change. We cannot change what's going on in the world, but we can change what's inside of us. So if you want an above average life, which I know all of you guys do, and income, right? Because when we can give more and help more people, we have to become an above average person, right? We're all above average here, but think of all the people. I always look at this as, think of all the people I'm going to meet that haven't had that awakening, that were Sarah Mills when she was 18 years old and terrified of everything. You know, you're going to find those people in your life. And I just really feel, as a passionate coach and mentor on this kind of subject, is I want to shine my light on that person, because if nobody had shone their light on me, I probably would still be dabbing around with nothing much happening. And you know, this kind of sums it up as well. You know, you have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Most people know that. But this is a really great fact to consider. And think about this, maybe people you might know two people of the same, but with two different people in the same company or doing the same role or running the same business, how one person might earn £100 and the other person might earn £1,000, £2,000 for doing exactly the same thing or more a month than the other person. What could possibly be the difference? If their products or their service is the same, their training programs are the same, they both have the same information, the same tools, they might even have the same mentor if it's in a work environment, the same opportunity to earn money, they all attend the same meetings. Why would one person earn more, right? I'm only using money as a reason to share, you know, that why would one person be given more than the other person? And I do really think the difference is on the inside, not the outside. It is all about inner belief. It is all about inner empowerment and getting out on the skinny branch and feeling fearful at times and grabbing those opportunities, and just saying yes to things and then figuring it out along the way, which is exactly what I did when I was introduced to my business. I just said yes. What if it works? What if it works? Not what if it doesn't work? And I really do think that, you know, is kind of the magic maker in all of this. So, you know, start growing from planting those good seeds inside of you, because everything, we've already discussed this, but everything worth having and being does take time. So here's two little ways that you can focus on self-improvement that can change your life, in my view, right? And you might have your own ways for doing this, but your future outcomes and ultimately the personal happiness and your own personal sense of achievement, because we're all striving for happiness and calm and peace and knowing, right? And who doesn't want that? Because I think firstly, it will present you with new opportunities when you're open to say, yes, I'll take a look at that. Yes. Who could I help? Yes, I could help that person. Or what do I need? It will help you present you new opportunities. It will help you grow yourself. And that will eventually lead you to new opportunities, because you'll meet new people, you'll speak in a different way. And those opportunities will not come about until you grow into the person who is ready for them, the person that's ready to receive them. And all you have to do really is just focus on that self-improvement every day. What did I do yesterday that I could do better today that would make me feel more aligned with who I really am supposed to be? And, you know, the greatest thing for me is to find others who lift you up, experts who resonate with your inner self, who align and alight that spark in you. And I've got I know you all do personal development. There's so many books out there, but when we send out the after email, I will just pop on there some things, that have really helped me, some personal development books and stuff that I've read, but they've obviously helped thousands of others. But you can watch these. Maybe you don't like reading, maybe you like listening, you know, maybe you love Clubhouse and podcasts and whatever it is, audios and videos, but just find something, leaders that inspire you, and you can implement those principles that make you go, yeah, that's what I need. That's the spark I need. Whoever floats your boat, there are hundreds of them, right? I'm not going to list them all, but, you know, whoever it is, right? Maybe you love Oprah Winfrey, Brené Brown, Tony Robbins, whoever it is, right? It doesn't matter, but the list is endless. But it will definitely, I believe, increase your self-esteem, because self-confidence is ultimately the starting point to following your dreams. It's just that little spark. You have to at some point start believing in yourself and your dreams enough to just go after them. And as you grow, you're building that mindset and belief. And as soon as I picked up my first personal development book, I felt the self-esteem inside me rising. It might be somebody in your industry that inspires you. It might be something you read about, something that happens that works, and you just think, yeah, that's how I feel. Those are the values I have. So what that happened to me, and I believe it can happen to every single one of you, if you're in a place where you might feel a little bit stuck sometimes, or you see others doing what you want to do, but you're not quite there, or you think, oh, how could I change or be flexible? I really believe it helps you to start to dare bigger and believe more was possible. Even dare, to set, I know you probably all do, but set goals. And it inspired me to push myself. And with an author or a speaker by my side as a guide, and you can choose any virtual mentors you want. It can help you become a better version of yourself, as you say. And I think it will improve your job, your relationships, whatever area in your life you're working on consistently. Look what you can improve. Had some great chats earlier, but look what you can improve consistently on a daily basis. Tiny little steps that have the awareness to see what needs to be done and then take action, that you can really do it. So I just think, the best is always yet to come. You can change your life in a thought. You can literally change your life direction in a thought, in self-development, and definitely in becoming a better version of you. And, we can all go from wherever we are to wherever we want to be, but we have to fight for it. We have to fight for our mindset. We don't need to put boxing gloves on, by the way, that is a great way to keep you fit. But first of all, we just need to use our own imagination. You might speak to entrepreneurs like I do on a daily basis, and they've got self-doubt, or you might be speaking to potential clients who you could help, but they're just too scared to make the next step. But we need to help ourselves to create that imagination in ourselves of what we want, but also to plant some seeds in others to imagine, well, what would your life look like if this changed, if that changed? Everything starts with imagination. Everything starts with vision and imagination. I always remember things, like, for example, in 1960, it was technically impossible to fly into space. And 10 years later, the first man landed on the moon. And I always think, people planted the seeds, people had an imagination. So how much we change our results and our outcomes is largely down to the imagination that we first had to create that. So fight for it. Don't think it's a small thought, really build that. So I just think, if we all combine desire, so, are there things in your business you would like to change? Do you want to scale up a bit bigger? Do you need more collaborations with other people? Should you be doing blogs or audios? I mean, I'm speaking mostly here to an experienced audience, but how could you pass this forward to others? So combine that desire to want to do something different with good planning and consistent perseverance. You can never give up on you. 100%. It's not allowed. And that will kind of ignite your passion. And there's always great ways that you can work that magic. So remember, it's not whether the formula for success works. There is a formula for success and happiness, but it's, will you work the formula, right? There is a formula for managing your body shape. There is a formula for getting fit. And there is a formula for eating healthy. Most people just they never use the formula, right? They never use the formula. They read about the formula and they never put it into their lives. And that's the unknown part. That's the challenge that confronts every single one of us every day, is how do I become the best version of myself? And what is that? And I think we just have to have the courage to believe it. So, apply those things about imagination and vision, and then planning, and then taking the next step every day. And we can all see great results. This might be a worn, phrase, face the fear, but don't dismiss them. And I've only learned this myself through talking to amazing women in this group and other women and men that I know about, don't be afraid to face your fears. Don't be afraid to listen to your inner voice. don't be afraid to go, that's interesting, Sarah, that you're talking to yourself in that way. Recognize it, acknowledge it, and then say that you choose to think differently. So I think I'm happy to say, what am I afraid of? And I wonder what I could do to improve that. Maybe write a list of the things you are currently still afraid of in growing yourself, your business, and write a list of those things, and then look for the people that could help you. Might be something great to discuss in our breakout room, actually. But face it, recognize it, and just go, okay, fine. This is what I could do to change it. And then who can help me, right? There is so much strength in asking for help. You know, it's not a weakness, it's a power and it's a strength. And then exercise your willpower, decide to focus on what needs to be done, kind of going forward, what needs to be done to get the change you want. If old habits aren't serving you, change them, ask for help, identify them, get up earlier, do your reading, take action, take exercise, and get a daily method of operation. What's your daily method of operation that you know that every day can help to move you and your mindset and your business forward? And be kind to yourself and acknowledge the limiting belief and choose to learn and grow for it. But, you know, get those muscles. I think they're like my wings on my back, but they're flexed and they're ready to, you know, to help me fly and to help you all fly too. And, you know, this is a tricky one. This is a tough one, but honestly, let's all believe that we can do it. We have got to believe in the possibilities. We have got to believe tomorrow can definitely be better than today if we choose it to be. There isn't a skill that we can't learn. There isn't a discipline we can't try. There isn't a mentor we can't find to grow belief in ourselves. So find the ones that light you up. Find the ones that speak your language and that just resonate with you, and then create your own wonderful, you know, inner self that's already there. And raise yourself up, you know, just lift yourself up so you can stand on the top of that mountain and, yeah, do what you have to do. And I think this is one thing as well that I've really learned through my journey, and I'm sure you have and are learning it too, is asking questions definitely creates the answers. Asking lets you deal with challenges for today and tomorrow. So don't wish it to be easier. I don't wish it to be easier. I just wish that I can be better. I want to be better, right? And I think, you know, when you seek out others' wisdom, it's really helpful. You don't need to know it all. So if somebody is starting out in business, you don't need to know all. You just need to know what you would like and how you would like to happen. If you're looking to grow and expand and move on and, as I say, scale up, you just need to know that you're ready to start growing. And thinking you should know it all or be unwilling to flex and change is definitely a weakness or a strength to me, because we have so much pride inside of us, you know. And if we've grown up in jobs where people think, well, you should know what you're doing, you should know your job, we actually get the ability to ask questions and ask for help pushed down inside of us. So, you know, as an entrepreneur, we should be welcoming all change, all vulnerability, all questions, all, I can do this better, I've had another idea, I'm going to move and morph however I'm going to do it. So listen to what others who are flourishing where you want to be and saying, and emulate those actions and character into your personal way, right? What's great is we don't have to reinvent everything. Everything's already been done for us. We just need to tap into the bit that's going to help us to grow. And I think this is really important as well. And I speak to lots of people who this is the one area that they find the most challenging. So, you know, if we're thinking like an average person, we might say, I've got loads of time to sort everything. I've got 30 years, right? I've got the next 30 years to sort that out. That's all fine. But if I only spoke, and this could be the same for all of you, we are all looking for clients. We are all looking to share our knowledge, our expertise with others, right? So we're all looking to make those connections. But imagine if you only spoke to one person a month about your business or your service, then you've only got 12 times in the next 12 months. And is that going to create exactly what you want? Is that going to give you exactly what you need? So my view on that is always to supersize it, because not everybody you speak to will get your vision to start with. Not everybody will want to come on your business journey straight away. Not everyone's going to enroll in your program. Not everyone's going to buy your product. So you have to speak to a lot of people. But over time, that is the magic formula, because if you speak to loads of people, 50, 60, 70, 80 people, and 6 of those people become your new clients, become your new students, then that is amazing. So I think that really helps to step into a bigger you. And if you speak to more people in less time, you are owning the compound effect. So if you speak to more people in less time and get to own your time rather than time owning you, you will feel amazing. So that's the bit where most people feel totally out of control, not being able to get everything done on their list. All right. And not asking for help and not outsourcing and not thinking, is this a priority or just something I'd like to be doing? So is every single thing that you do when you're donating your time to your business, because this is just in the business time I'm talking, do you give your business 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day, whatever it is, not so it deflects on your family time, but are you giving it the time it needs so that you can, you know that you're focusing on the one thing that's going to take you forward, and know what that is. So this is a great little exercise that I've learned recently, actually, through a great online social marketing expert, but it applies to all businesses. It's called the 333. That will just take 30 minutes a day. And it's so simple. You're going to go, well, that's just ridiculous. That's so simple. But it's a bit like me and my kettlebells. Very simple. So imagine if you made just 3 new connections every day, 10 minutes on any platform or any contact form you like. It might be speaking to friends, asking for referrals. Oh, you know so-and-so that you know so-and-so. It might be on Clubhouse. It might be on Facebook. It might be on LinkedIn. 3 new connections every single day. You don't know how they're going to lead to. You're not asking for anything to do with your business. You're just making 3 connections. What I do, and it might help for you, is, for example, on Facebook comes up with all sorts of people I might know. It makes recommendations to me. So I look at those people, I choose 3 maybe, and I send them a little message saying, Facebook's recommended we connect. I'm just saying hi, how are you? Right? You'll be amazed how many people will come back to you and go, hey, it's great to connect. Could you do that? 3 every day. Can you imagine how many that is? 3 times 7 is 21. Times 12 is a lot of people that you could be making connections with. Just 10 minutes to do that. Comment on 3 different people's posts on any social media platform for 10 minutes. Comment before you follow them, comment before you like them, comment on their post, engage with what they're saying. That is such good conservation of your time. That's like, wow, I've just commented on 3 people's posts. Do you think they're going to look back at what you're doing? Of course they are. It's reciprocity, or whatever the word is. And then make 3 asks a day. That's the final 10 minutes to find people to talk to about your business or product. Get loud about what you do, whether that's asking for a referral, a testimonial, maybe a follow-up from someone you met at networking that you never told them about what you do because you never had the one-to-one, right? You never made the connection. You wrote them on your list. 10 minutes, 3 things in 10 minutes. Connect with 3 new people, comment on 3 people's posts, and 3 asks a day to move your business forward. And set a timer and then go, right, I've done that for today. Brilliant. Move on. That can be really helpful to help you conserve your time. And then I always love this. Profits are better than wages. We know that. Lots of us know that are creating, wonderful subscription programs, online businesses that people are buying into our membership programs. If you've got a job, we know, right, we're all smart entrepreneurs, but some of us may also have a job. There are lots of people in this amazing network that I'm part of that do have a job. But if you have a job, we all know, and I've had one, you're trading your time for money, right? We know that. Profits are better than wages, and we can get better and smarter at this. So we can start earning profits with obviously multiple income streams alongside our other businesses or our other jobs. And I think this makes us feel great about ourselves. It can make you feel really in control because you've got more things to do, the things you truly love, because you'll start to become the best when you can give attention to the things you're really, truly passionate about. If you knew that every month people were subscribing to something you did and were happy to pay for that service, you've created something automated. It really feels great. And you don't have to rely on that one source. So find ways that you can you know, do that, to, you know, just not rely on, I need this many clients physically every week to make what I need. Find other ways to do it. And then live with passion and intensity. Everybody that knows me knows I do this no matter what. Tomorrow can always be a brighter day. And I would say live with passion and intensity and become a little stronger every day. It's not a giant leap like him. It's not a giant leap. It's tiny little steps. So become a little stronger, become a little wiser, right? You know, find wisdom in the things you do, find wisdom in others, and become a little wiser so you don't overreact to things you don't need to. Just become wiser and step up your enthusiasm in everything you do that serves you. And don't worry what other people think about you. They're not living your life. Only you are living your life. So I would say, yeah, step it up and then ask for more strength, more vigor, more heart and soul. And you will, it's like a muscle, it will just keep on growing and it feels wonderful. And find your place. If some of you might still be working a job as well, you might be running your business alongside this. If you're still working a job as well as your business currently, be the best you can be in your career. If you also have a career, do the best job you can do, because you'll be asked to do something better. That's the thing I never did. I thought I was doing the best I could do, but I was kind of half playing the game. So other people got asked to do things because they were doing things better in that environment than I was. Because if you add value to every client you've got, if you do more than is expected and you give it away for absolutely nothing, some of it, so many people will be drawn to that. So you can feel fulfilled and confident and your self-esteem goes up. And when your self-esteem goes up, guess what? Your confidence goes up. And then you feel like you've got, yeah, I can do this. And that's the best way of becoming your best you. There's no resentment, there's just gratitude, and doors will open that you never saw could open, and things will then really start to happen. This is a hard one to kind of demand integrity from yourself. Having integrity to yourself is like having loyalty, right? It's doing what is important to you. You know, being the best loyal person you can be, and you will find loyal people to work alongside you, because like attracts like, you know, it's literally magnetic. I really believe that with all my heart. You can't demand it of someone else. You can only demand it of yourself. So show up, even when you don't feel like it, you know, put your makeup on, put your off the shoulder number on, right? Get up, do more, have more, but show up when you don't feel like it sometimes, because you're doing it, showing up for someone else that needs you there, right? To be along them. And if you lead the way, others will definitely follow you. So be the best example of integrity, and you will find integrity. You know, say what you're going to do, you said you were going to do. And this is a hard one. The hard thing is sometimes welcoming the discipline. You will feel amazing. Discipline will create your reliability in you. It will definitely create more momentum, and it will definitely create, I believe, over time, your best you. And it creates productivity and abundance and a great sense of well-being when you are disciplined in the things you do, and you don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. I always learned from somebody, if you can do something, if something takes you only 2 minutes to do it now. If it takes just 2 minutes to make that phone call, if it takes just 2 minutes to ask someone for a testimonial, if it takes just 2 minutes to help someone and give them some free advice, do it now. Do the unseemly little things every day that will take you closer to your vision of where you want to go. And you can create extraordinary things, as we've all shared, with very small daily disciplines. So yeah, just fight for what's right for you. Fight for what's right for you, becoming the best for you. If you want something valuable, if you want something long lasting, something to sustain your family, your health is your wealth as far as I'm concerned, you have to fight for it, because your inner self is going to keep telling you, no, right? I don't want to go for that run. I don't want to read that book. I don't want to speak to that client, not today. But you have to fight for it, but fight for it with your mindset, because it will 100% be your winning or losing formula. 100%. It all starts with that. And recognize and hear your inner voice, and acknowledge it when it wants to give up and lie down and give in. We all have that, don't we, on a daily basis? Ask yourself, is that what I want? Does this make me feel good feeling this way? And is it helping me to fulfill my passion? And if it won't help you, then say, thank you, I hear you, but that's not who I want to become. I choose to do this, right? I choose to do this, but recognize it. And then just finally, it's so important. Give it enough time. Give it enough time. Give every little thing you do enough time to grow and flourish, whether that's your health, your fitness, your business, your ideas, whatever it is. Give yourself enough time to make changes. It takes time to make changes. It takes time to learn, grow, achieve. And we are all obviously a work in progress. So work foremost over time, every day, no matter what, on whatever that is to you, becoming the best version of you. You deserve it, and you're absolutely 100% worth it. And I love this quote by Catherine of Siena: when you become who you are meant to be, you will set the world on fire. So feel it, nurture it. You are already almighty and powerful beyond all of the limits you're putting on yourself. And this includes every single one of us, right? We might not even recognize all the things that we've grown and learned over the next 5 years. And, you know, the art of winning and becoming your best you is putting all of those parts together and going through every day, up and down, and with change, and with upsets, and with a kind of level of wise calmness, and with a winning heart, and with a light touch of sunshine in your soul, and that wind beneath your feet, because that will help to lift you up. And we are surrounded always by those people when we want to find them. So go and find the best you. Start today. You're all on this amazing journey, I know already, but we can all, there's all things we're putting off. There's all things we could do. Yeah, I'm going to do that tomorrow. Don't do it tomorrow, do it today. And let's do it with each other and see how far we will have come, and all the things we will have done by just setting the world on fire, because we all deserve it. So thank you so much for, listening, taking some top tips, and I'm sure becoming the best version of you, 100%.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Good.
You can do it.